I must admit, I really love the NBA. This trade deadline was absolutely crazy. Even though I don't want to get into the details of each significant trade, as there were so many, I would like to mark some of my personal favorites this year. CJ McCollum to the New Orleans Pelicans move might be an indicator of two things. The Portland Trail Blazers are about to soft rebuild their team, freeing up cap space to sign the second star this summer, or it might mean that the management is up for the hard rebuild and Damian Lillard might choose to look for another destination in the next years. Kristaps Porzingis to the Washington Wizards trade also means changes for both the Mavs and Wizards, which is a good thing, as the Luka-Kristaps duo didn't seem to be the best fit. And of course, the Harden to Simmons mega trade that helped both teams. Should I even elaborate on this one? However, today we will talk about the team that stayed silent at this trade deadline. In fact, it was probably the smartest decision. In this video, we will talk about the team that turned G League players into legitimate contenders. We will talk about the Golden State Warriors. Also, I would really like to hear your opinion, as I'm very curious about what you, my dear subscribers, NBA fans, and just passing by viewers, think about the league's future. Now grab some snacks, get yourself comfortable, and enjoy this video. But before that, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and hit that notification bell to get updates on our latest NBA content. Let's keep rolling. First things first, the Dubs are far from being a team full of G League alumni. The Warriors possess one of the most golden rosters in the entire league, although it is in fact true that their depth is the result of smart moves that involved G League players. To be honest, it has always been the Warriors' superpower. It seems that in the last 10 to 15 years, Golden State's management has been predicting the future with all the smart moves they have made in that decade. Drafting the best long-range shooter in the history of the game, drafting an undersized defensive power forward, Draymond Green, who turned out to be the steal of the 2012 draft, and getting arguably the best catch-and-shoot player in the NBA, Klay Thompson. All those superstars joined the Warriors in the span of 5 years, forming the Baby Warriors, who went on the amazing 73-9 record, breaking all the records set by other historical NBA teams. In the next 5 years, they managed to form the most powerful team that has become a blueprint for any other super team. Then, after their failure back in 2019, they took a deep breath and started a soft rebuild, tanking their way to the position they are currently in. So, the Golden State Warriors have a knack for making smart decisions, and that's what makes them so good right now. However, tanking and drafting are not the only things that have made the Dubs that solid now. Their financial moves have been top-notch in the past 2 years. They have never given up on Klay Thompson, not trading him away even after 2 long years of recovery. They acquired Andrew Wiggins, whose contract seemed highly overpaid at that moment, and now this man is an all-star starter. They have never given up on any of the rooks they have got. James Wiseman has yet to play his full season, although there is not even a single rumor about him being traded away. And the thing that I think is probably the most impactful and strategically significant one for the Dubs is how smart they were with their signings despite the tight cap space situation. This summer, the Golden State Warriors needed to make moves if they didn't want to waste another year of Stephen Curry's prime. The situation was tricky, as Klay Thompson was set to return in the middle of the season, and the supermax they signed with Curry had a massive impact on a luxury tax that was already enormous even before. So the Warriors had to operate on low resources. The only things they could do were, number 1, trading one of the stars away, in particular Andrew Wiggins, whose departure could have freed up a lot of cap space. Number 2, making small changes and hunting down cheap but valuable players. As you know, the Dubs went with the second one, and their decision was absolutely right. Prior to that summer, the Warriors had already been trying to figure things out and find low-cost, high-impact players, and at that time they went to the G League to find that type of player. And they have found one in Juan Toscano Anderson. Even throughout the difficult 2020-2021 NBA season, JTA was solid for the Dubs. Overall, he was a great player to go with, and later on, his contract was turned into a full-time one. JTA provides this team with enormous hustle on both the defensive and offensive sides of the court. In Klay's absence, he was the second player after Wiggins who could provide that level of perimeter defense for the team. TA plays solid D, gets stops, gets deflections, boxes out, rebounds, moves the ball, drives, slashes, finishes, throws and catches lobs, moves without the ball, sets good screens, gets few turnovers, super competitive, and is humble enough to play on low minutes. He's an average shooter and a great facilitator, which comes with a very team-oriented low price tag. Add to this that JTA is a Bay Area native, and you'll probably get the best asset for that amount of money for the Dubs. And he accepts his role on the team even though it's rather a small one at the moment. I'm understanding of my role on this team. I can sit here and pout about it, but what good is that going to do? I can be anywhere else in the world, but I'm on the best team in the NBA, my hometown team. I want to play more, of course. At the end of the day, you got to wake up and do your job. That's what the golden mentality is all about. Another notable G League alumni is Gary Payton II. This man ignited the NBA world back in the fall of 2021. He was among the pool of players who were on a tryout for the Warriors' 15th spot on the roster. There were names like Isaiah Thomas, Avery Bradley, and Michael Mulder in this pool. At the end of the day, Gary Payton II showed the Warriors management saw something others couldn't see, and the decision to acquire him on a team has paid off tremendously for this team. Despite his Hall of Fame background, Payton had one of the most difficult paths to a full-time NBA roster spot, and this year it seemed like that man is tired of all this and decided to snap. Because of his 6'8" wingspan, sturdy physique, and ability to rise extremely high off the ground very quickly, one could be forgiven for believing Payton is a front-court player rather than a guard. Payton's cuts to the rim are frequent and spectacular, with an enormous number of dunks made this season. The Warriors' most dependable supply of posters is Payton, whose dunks frequently come at the expense of people bigger than him, and it's difficult to measure the adrenaline that comes from Payton leaping over a defender and smashing it through. At one point in the season, GP II had the second best true shooting percentage in the entire league over all guards and almost all big men in the league. Even now, Gary Payton II is averaging a mind-boggling 61.8% field goal shooting percentage. And gosh, is he effective on the defensive side of the court. Payton is nearly never out of position, is powerful enough to prevent his guy from reaching the location they need, and his long arms are always in use. He can pick the pocket of whoever he's defending and play the passing lanes for thefts, which isn't something NBA point guards do very frequently. Overall, Gary Payton II is one of the most impactful players for the Warriors with his incredible energy, hustle, and consistency. And what is your opinion? What is the most important reason for the Dubs' success? Who is the best bench player for the Warriors? Do you like what Bob Myers is doing for the team? Tell us what you think in the comments down below. And once again, make sure to leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button to catch up with the best NBA content. If you like this video, make sure to watch my other videos about recent NBA news. Thank you for watching.